We all know that if Giannis gets a jumper, he'll become the most unguardable player to ever play basketball, point blank, period. End of discussion, most unguardable player ever. But his jumper is broke. Why? Well, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to analyze and break down the reasons as to why I think Giannis' jumper is still broke after all of these years of knowing his weakness and still trying to perfect it. And so before you say, "Oh, you've never been in the NBA, you're not a coach, you're not this, you're not that," hear me out first and listen to what I'm saying before you go to making conclusions on my analysis. All right. And so make sure if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on the notifications. Vids like this dropping every day, hidden highlights, and follow me on Twitch at the same handle as YouTube. And to start this video off, we're gonna look at Giannis' old jump shot when he first entered the league, and we can all say this jumper looks prettier than this jumper does now because the quicker release, but most importantly, he's confident when he goes up into the shot, and he's a two-motion shooter. Two-motion shooter. So being a two-motion shooter, you're going to use more legs, ball's going to be in your hands a little longer, and your release point is going to be higher up compared to most people. You're not going to be shooting out the way up. You're more so shooting at the top of your shot. And so you're going to see players like Michael Jordan, Kobe, Ray Allen shoot two-motion and delay their release point up until they're higher up off the ground. And that's why they shoot as two-motion shooters. And so Giannis early in before he gained this muscle, he was a two-motion shooter. And you're gonna see it in these clips in his first few years in the NBA before he starts to put on muscle rapidly. Notice how he's holding that ball in his hand much longer than he does now. Using more legs, embracing it, quicker release, all that. Mid-range looks even smoother. And even nowadays, you'll see Giannis when he shoots his mid-range is the only time he uses some legs and begins to kind of shoot like he did before, and his release actually does look good. That's the only time it does. When you see him shoot his fadeaways, his turnarounds, and he has to get up off the ground, shoot over the defender, that's when he uses legs, and that's when his shot looks nice. Still two motion after these years. First few years, two motion. 2015, two motion. And now from about right here, Giannis begins to put on some muscle. And from his first year in the league to from his first year in the league till now, he's put on about went from 196 to 243. 50 pounds of muscle. 50 pounds of muscle. And so now what would Giannis do? He'll try to fix his jump shot now that he's put on 50 pounds. And so what is he going to try to do now? He's going to try to shift his jumper to shooting as a one-motion player. But that is wrong to do because one-motion shooters are balanced all the way through. Giannis put on muscle so fast, so quick, that he's not able to balance that muscle as well as like Steph would or Dame would or guys like that. That's why you've seen Steph be able to put on muscle over the course of 10 years and not over the course of 1 year, because it's in the mess of his jump shot. Because when your muscle is imbalanced, whether it's your lower body, your upper body, you're going to have to shoot two motion, delay that shot release. It's not going to be as smooth, right? And so now we're going to take a look how Giannis' jump shot looks nowadays and over the past few years. 2019. Notice the legs. Notice the legs most importantly, and notice how long the ball is sitting in his hands. Now, mind you, you're seeing all these makes, but he's still shooting about 25%. 25 to 30%, 30% max. All right. I'm just watching the jumper, not the result. Look at the jumper. Of course, it's going to look good when it goes in, but still, even after years of putting the work in, his jumper still broke. And even then, look at that release. You saw, I was like this, and that's kind of just like, this is ugly. I don't know. Like you see it too, right? I'm not tripping. Like look at his follow through. Like this. Now it's just ugly. Now some people could break the fundamentals, don't get me wrong. Some people could break the fundamentals. But when you break the fundamentals and your jump shot is still broke, it needs to change. It needs to change. So a player like KD, you can shoot all like this across his body, all that stuff, or Ray Allen who shoots with his elbows out. They could break it because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because shooting is a case by case basis. It's a change for every player, and I'm just talking about Giannis specifically. Just Giannis. It doesn't apply to all basketball players. This is just Giannis. One motion shooter, right? Less legs, smooth at the top. It may look better. But what's his natural shooting motion? A two motion shooter like he did at the start of his career. Let's keep looking at some clips.
Still 7 minutes to go. Giannis for 3.
It's going to look pretty, of course. It's going to look pretty. But how often is it looking pretty? Not often. Not often. And of course, it's going to look even prettier on the make. And you'll notice even here. Notice how he'll get up to here. And it's like he's just forcing himself to release that ball out. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like he doesn't have full control over the ball. How could he gain full control over the ball? Embracing that longer ball in hand, the amount of time the ball is in his hand, shooting two motion with more legs, letting it go at the top, and that's how he's gonna have more control over the ball, have a better release, better follow through, and on top of that, getting some more legs. And notice here, right here. It's like he's just pushing it out, kind of uncontrollably. It looks prettier, of course, it looks prettier. But I don't think this is his natural motion. I think, let me get this one through. I think that after Giannis had put on muscle, after he put on his muscle and he was like, okay, I need to work on my shot now. I don't think he should have tried to change the way he shoots the basketball. I actually think keeping the way he shot before would be even better, because now that he has so much muscle that he doesn't necessarily know how to control and use, that two motion shot would benefit him even more than a one motion shot. Now, one motion shot is pretty, of course. That's how the best shooters of today's game shoot, like the Stephs, Dames, Clays, KD. I mean, the best shooters in today's game shoot like. So maybe the people he's around, people he may be training with, I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying that maybe they told him to shoot one motion. But I think you may need to consider shooting as a two motion shooter like he did before. Because now that he's only put on more muscle, it's only going to be easier for him to shoot as a two motion shooter. Like the Ray Allens, the Kobe's, the Jordans. They shot two motion because they use a lot of their legs. Now Giannis is going to shoot two motion because he uses a lot of his arms. You get me? You feel what I'm saying? And so I think that change to trying to shoot as a one motion to two motion is what has messed him up. I think if he was able to maintain that two motion shot that whole time and be able to put on that muscle, embrace it, he would be a better shooter today than he would be that he switched to one motion. Because obviously it didn't work. And so let's even look at the stats. Let's take a look at the stats. The numbers over the course of his career. First season, I don't like to count this season. 7 points a game, 25 minutes, 1.5 3-point attempts. It's not fair to count this season and add it and to make it say, oh, this is his best shooting season. He needs to shoot like he did this. No, because his volume and his usage is so much lower than it is now. And so let's look at some of the later seasons, the more recent seasons where he's become an all-star. Switched his shot around 2019, 2020-ish. Still shooting at 30%. There's been not really been any improvements. Increase that muscle, but the numbers are still pretty low. 30% here, 26%, 30%, 30, 29. This season at a low, damn near a low of about 26. I think he needs to try to shoot as a two motion shooter. How does he do that? Just use more legs. Use more legs. Embrace shooting as a two motion player. Hold that ball in your hand a little longer. Holding the ball in hand for a little longer gives him more control. And with that muscle that he's added on, he doesn't know how to control it fully, but shooting two motion, it'll help. And so if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe, like, turn on those notifications, posting every day, hitting highlight videos each game every day. So make sure you got those notifications turned on and follow me on Twitch because these are coming to Twitch live, interactive, so I can talk with y'all, so we can discuss some hoops, basketball live. So make sure you follow me on Twitch at PatDOR2Ts, like YouTube, and we out of here.